So last we have learned about polygon, creating polygon. Now we know how to draw some objects in AutoCAD, line, polyline, circle, arc, and about creating rectangle and polygon. We have some other objects. We will look into that. So let's come to this. Like, if you have this object and you want to move this, okay. So for that you have this grip point. You can click and hold this grip point. You can click and then just simply place it another location. And also we have this move option that you can select this as a base point and then place it to another location. So how I do it? I select this move icon, then I select this object, then right click, then specify the base point. This I have specified as a base point, and then the second point for another location. Alright, this is very simple. And if you have to rotate, so for that we simply have this. So select this object and then right click, and then you give a base point. Like I'm giving this as a base point, and then after that you specify an angle, a rotation angle. So the positive value will define the anti-clockwise direction, and the negative value will define clockwise direction. So let me give 45. From its location, it will count 45 degree in anti-clockwise direction. Now suppose I have this 45 degree at this direction, it is placed 45 degree. Now if I go for again rotate and specify the base point, and then if I go for this copy, if I go for this copy and then minus 45. So here you can see that I have created another duplicate by rotating it. Okay, in the clockwise direction, I have made the duplicate by rotating. So that's very simple. Just go for rotate, select the object, enter, then you specify the base point, then you go for copy or C enter, and then you specify the angle. Okay, so here you can specify like 90, right, like this. Now here you can see that this part of this rectangle is inserted within this rectangle. Suppose this is the A rectangle and this is a B rectangle. So B rectangle, this portion is inserted within this A rectangle. So I want to trim this part. So for that I have this trim option. To click on it and then just start selecting it. Okay. So that's how you do it in 2021 version. Suppose you are using older version, then you are selecting trim with icon, then you had to press one enter, and then you go for trimming. Okay. Same like if you go with command TR and you go with double enter. So here it's not like that. You will go with single enter. TR single enter, and then you can start trimming. Okay, so let's trim this part, and here you can see. Now again you can extend, but it will extend up to this limit, right? So within this trim also you can extend. So I'm currently activating this trim, but I want to extend. So how I can do it? I will hold shift button and then I will extend it. Okay, and now again trim it. So I got back, right? Again, if you go for this extend option also, so this extend option is kind of similar. Okay, so this extend option here also, you don't have to press enter if you are going with this extend icon. So now with this extend also you can trim if you hold shift button. So you can trim it like this, and normally you can extend. And again if you hold shift, it will trim. Now you have another option like creating fillet and chamfer. So with this option you can fillet and chamfer any two objects and any particular corner individually. So let's go with this fillet, and here you have to specify radius. So let's specify one radius like 50, and it will be one operation at a time. Within a single command, you can do one operation at a time. So let's select this object first, and let's select this object second. So it's mentioning that the fillet radius is too large. Again, you can come to this radius option here, and here you can change for it. Let's go for 5 and let's see. Okay, so here it is. And as I told you that within a single command, it's a single operation at a time. Again, you have to choose fillet option for another corner fillet, but we have flexibility that if I go for this multiple, so I can go with the same radius multiple times. If I want to go with same radius, then I can go with this multiple. So let's go with this radius again, and here let's go with 5 and then go for multiple or M enter. So within this command line window, here you can see that multiple option is there. You click on it, and then you can start picking your option. And after specifying your first object, before specifying the second object, you can change the radius. That that is possible. Okay, so but generally by default you will go with the same radius. So here let me go for 10, enter, and here let me see. So you can see, right? Now if I want to move, so with this grip point, but AutoCAD is not allowing me to move with this grip point. So for this rectangle, I don't have any center point because this is not created with a center point, but it has its geometric center. But here the center point is not available. uh, so how I can move, I can choose this move option, but I don't want to select, I don't want to, I want to make it quick. So if you click on this grip point and then you press space bar, then you can cycle through move, rotate, mirror, okay, copy, you can do that. So like you click on it and then press the space bar. So you can see on the command line window it's showing you move. If I press again space bar, it will show you rotate. I will go with another space bar for scale, another space bar for mirror, and again stretch, space bar, move. So it will cycle through. So with this grip point, you can move, rotate, and scale it, mirror. Okay. Now let's come to this chamfer part. So we will make chamfer there. Okay. Before doing this chamfer, we have another option within this fillet. Suppose I have this polyline, right? I have this polyline, which is a single element, and if I want to fillet all the four corners at the same time, rather than clicking one by one, I can do it by using this polyline. So before that, I just mention the radius like 5, and then go for this polyline and then select the polyline. And within a single click, all the four corners or all the corners will be filleted. And here you can see. Okay. Now we go for chamfer, and then the distance is 0, and the second chamfer distance is 0. That is the default value, and then you go for polyline and then you select it. There will be nothing. Okay. And if you go for fillet and then you go for radius 0, enter, and then you select this polyline option and then select. So it will sharpen the corner. Okay. And why it is completed with this fillet option? Because the operation was done with the fillet. Okay, so with the fillet you applied 0 radius, so the sharp corner has a 0 radius, so 0 radius can be applicable to make sharp corners. Okay, now let's go with this chamfer option, and here it is distance, first chamfer distance, let's go for 5, and the second chamfer distance, let's go for 7. And let's select the first line. On this first line, the first chamfer distance will be applicable, and on the second chamfer, second line, the second chamfer distance will be applicable. So here you can see that I'm doing it, and here you have this corner. So from this corner, it is taking 5 distance there, and from this corner, it's taking 7 distance there, and it's connecting that those 2 points, and this is your chamfer. Okay, now if you go for chamfer and then the distance is 0 and the second chamfer distance is 0, and you select your first object and then you select your second object, now you can for already chamfered option, you can make it again sharp corner with the chamfer. Okay, so if it is fillet, So you go for fillet with 0 radius if it is chamfer. You go for chamfer with 0 radius. Now let me show you another option. Here you will go for angle. So there is two way to fillet by defining the two chamfer distance, and another option is defining the chamfer length and the angle. So let's go with the chamfer that is 10, and it will be the angle. Let me go for 30 degree. So let's select this as a first, or this as a first object, and then the second object. Okay, so you have this one. Let me go for this chamfer or extend. Let me go for this extend. Let me so here it is not a single object. So I want to break it down. Here, let me break this down. So I'll go for explode there. Explode. So right now all the segments are individual right now, and I can increase this to this. So I can track this snap point there with object snap tracking option. The shortcut is F11. So that is a object snap tracking mode active right now, and I'm tracking this snap over there. Like this extension point will meet here, so I'm tracking it, and let me on the ortho mode, and here it's going to meet, and here. So it was the earlier condition, and from this it has taken the 10th uh, 10 dimension. Here you can see, and the angle is 30 degree. Okay, so let me show you the angle also. First object, second object, and here you can see there is 150, that means this is 30 degree. So that's how you can use your chamfer with angle option there. All the other options are similar with your fillet. Now we also have one mirror option there. So let's go with this mirror. If you want to create a symmetrical duplicate, or you want to create your existing objects symmetrical object, so you can choose mirror there. So you simply go for this mirror, and then you specify this, and you don't want to copy this. So what you have to do is you have to erase the source object, and you, if you want to keep the source object, or you want to duplicate, then go for no. So I want to just make my existing object symmetrical. So let me go for erase source object, yes. So now you see that the existing object I have mirrored it. So about going for mirror, you select the object, then you press enter or right click, and then you have to specify 2 point for your mirror axis. So the 2 point direction will define the mirror axis, and accordingly you will get your mirror effect. So like let me select this as a first point, and now if I deactivate this ortho mode, and the first point is there, and if I go for this as a second point, so I'll get this as a result. But if I go for this point, I'll get like that as a result. So the next point, the two mirror axis point or mirror line points will define the mirror axis, and you have to choose wisely. So let's go for that, and again erase source objectives. Now if you want to make your existing objects duplicate objects, so for that you go with this copy there, and you select objects, and then either press enter or right click, and then you go for any base point there, and then the second point to place duplicate object. And by manually you can define the distance, you can type the distance, so it will always count from the base point what you have specified. Then the distance you can specify, like let's go for 150 there, enter, and this way you can specify the proper distance. Now if you want to create multiple duplicate objects within a single command, so that also possible. So let's duplicate this object. So after selecting object, I will specify the base point. Let me specify this as a base point, and then it's asking me for second point, like the same we have done earlier. Now I will not specify the second point, I will specify array. So what is array? So, you have a number of specified duplicate objects arranged in a specific direction with specific gap. That is called your array. So here I am going to specify number of items, that is, and what will be the second point. So accordingly all the 10 objects will be placed. So here let me specify the second point is like 50, and here you see in this direction from this point to this point is 50, from this point to this point is 50, and like this. So you have created a duplicate object, multiple number of duplicate objects within a single command. Now let me just select. So you see that within a single window I have selected this much of object and not selecting this object. So how I have done it, this is called your blue window selection. So creating the blue window selection is very simple. What you have to do is you have to click anywhere within your drawing area, then you have to drag towards the right side. Okay, wherever you click you have to drag right side, then this blue window will be formed. And make sure that the required objects for selection must be covered within this window, then only those objects can be selected. You see that all the objects are selected is highlighted in bold. And now if I going to select this object, these object, when it is covered within this window, these are going to be selected also. But if I don't cover them within this window, they are not going to be selected. And we also have another form of window selection, that is green window selection. So wherever you click, you drag towards right side. So how you do that? Just click, don't hold your click, just click, don't hold the click, and then you simply drag it. Then the area is defined, the window area for your selection is defined, and there you go and click. And how it works, the green window, how it works, if you just cross if you just cross over a object if you just cross over an object with this green window, it is going to be selected. But for the blue window, it has to be covered within this window. Now if I cross, it won't be selected, and if I cover it, it will be selected within this blue window selection. Okay, like quickly, if I want to quickly select it, so I will select like this within this blue window. Great. Select them all, and now let me draw that object which I have shared with you. So let me show you that. Just a second, let me check the diagram once. Yes, so I'm going to show you about the first diagram. Okay, so how I'm going to do it. So let me create one vertical line. So here you see that this, if I draw the half portion, then I can mirror the half one. Okay, so the vertically I'll go for creating one half. So before that, I will set my unit. So this one is unitless, but don't worry, I'll go for any particular unit. So let's go to define unit, that is decimal, and the precision will be this much, and let's go for it millimeter there, and if everything is okay. All right, we have another option to specify our drawing unit. So for that we have dash DWG unit, enter, and there you see that it's asking you drawing unit for length. So here you see that the drawing unit is currently set as inches, but I want millimeter. So for that I have to specify 3, that will be millimeter. And what is the display format? The display format will be 2, enter for decimal, and then the precision up to 2 digit, that is okay. Let's press enter there, and scale object from other drawings upon insert. So whenever you will be inserting, it will be scaled, so that is okay. Yes. And you want to match your insertion unit to drawing units. If you want to match this, so you can do yes. If you don't want to do that, like if you are working in millimeter and your insertion unit is inches, you want to keep those different, so then go for no. But if you go for yes, so it will be matched. And then it's asking you scale objects in current drawing to reflect change in units. Suppose you have done your earlier objects in inches, and you want to scale them in millimeter, so they will be scaled. Your existing objects will also be scaled if you change your drawing units after creating your drawings. So that is possible with this dash twg unit command. So let's and include objects in paper space. That's obviously yes. So you know you all know that what is called paper space. That is your in this layout tab you have that paper space. Let's include them also. and that is done right now. And let's go for creating a line. So I'll create a vertical line having the total distance of 70. So let me activate ortho mode, and let me escape it. So here you can see that this 70 length line is too small within this drawing area. So what I'll do is I'll go for Z, enter, Z for zoom, and there I'll go for A, enter. All the objects will be zoomed. Okay. So do I have any other objects? Yes. Mm, or else what you can do is with your scroll button, if you double click, so all the objects will be zoomed within your viewport. So that also you can do with your mouse uh, middle button, that is your scroll button. With the scroll button you double click, okay, like this, and here you can see that is zoomed right now, and here you can see that is zoom here. The zoom operation is completed. Now let me go for this half. So here I'll draw one half line. So at the top, that is the total length is 17, and here I'll give 8.5 into. And you can see we at some distance we have parallel lines, right? So I'll go with this offset, which will create parallel lines at a specific distance. So let's go for a value there. So for better execution of offset, I will activate the dynamic input option. Okay, so the dynamic input mode is on while I'm doing offset. So let's specify the offset value first. So the offset value is 7, and here let's select the object, and then you see I'm going to create the offset. Okay, and again if I go for offset, so it will create the offset with the previous value, right? But I have activated dynamic input, so I can change after that also. So it is only possible to change if you activate your dynamic input mode. So let's go for that. 2.5, enter, and here you can see. Next again go for it's it will always show you the initial value which you have set, and if you have activated dynamic input you can change it. Like let's go for 1.5. Okay, and next let's go for 5.5. Let's go for 2, and next let's go for 1.5, and next let's go for 28 there, and after that let's go for 0.5, enter, then select this object, then then this object towards this direction. I'll place my mouse and then give the value 0, and then select this object, specify the direction, and then then 1, enter, 3, enter, and then the remaining will be same, 7. Okay, and then let's go for the vertical one. We go for this line. Okay. Now here you see that we have another option that is 1.5. So let's go for this side 1.5, enter, and then from this we have 2. Let's go for 2. What's this? And let's go for 1. Enter. Okay. So that is done right now. So let's complete this part, otherwise it may create confusions there. So let's go for this trim and let's trim this part because here we don't want any lines there. And here let me trim this part. Okay, and let me trim this part there. Okay, and here I don't need this. I don't need this also. I don't need it here. Okay, and here I don't need this, like this. Okay, so let's go for this fillet now. Let's go for this fillet. So here you see that this will be the same distance. Here it will be covered like this. Or what we can do is can go for tan maybe. First, second, third, like this. You can do this tan there. And let me check what is the radius there. That is 1.25 there. Okay, but here you can see that is not like that. The curve is started from this point, right? So we can easily identify that the radius is 2. From this end to this end, the radius is the same distance, that is 2. So let's go with this fillet. Good. And here you see that within this trim option, this trim is specified. If it is specified no trim, so these lines will not be trimmed. So make sure that within this trim option, this trim is specified. Then go with this radius, and then first object, then the second object. Now you see that is done perfectly, right? And about this one, let's go for it. So here also you can go for tangent radius, tangent, tangent, and the radius is mentioned, that is 1. That is done. You can go for trim there. Right. And how easily it's done, right? Okay, so let's go for this. So we will keep this. We will keep this line. Let me just break this somewhere. So we have this break at point or break at 2 points. So let's go with this break, and here let me select it. So after selecting your object, you can specify the breakpoint. So let me specify this as a breakpoint. So here you see that this total single line is divided. This is at the breakpoint, and let me delete this part here. Let's go for this. Okay, so let me connect this here, and here you can see that this has this same. So you can see that if I increase this line, the curve is tangent with this vertical line and this what I say this two horizontal line. Okay, so you can simply go for tan 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 there, select this first object, then second object, then the third object, and here you can see is done, and you can check the radius is 1.5 there. What is the distance? You can do it with the fillet, the radius also. So better we go with this tan tan tan, so that will be quick to create. Now let's go for trim. So trim this part and then this part, right? And from this also we have 1.5 distance. So let's go with this offset 1.5, enter. Okay, so here you select it, come to this grip, don't click, just place your mouse pointer on this grip, and here you can see the lengthen option is there. So you can lengthen up to this point, and after that you have no problem with that. Okay, so that part is completed right now. Okay, let's go for the trim. Let's finish the task up to this point, and here I will delete this line. Okay, now about these things. So you see that we have here 7.5. So let's go with the offset, and here let me define half value 3.75, enter. Let's specify this point, and you can specify other points as well. So let's go with this 3.75 there, and about this point let me just take it up to this. Okay, so what I'll do, I will click on this grip point and I'll drag towards this point, and make sure that doing this this ortho mode is activated. Other than you can go with this lengthen. So what is the difference between stretch and lengthen? uh, Lengthen will decrease or increase the length of the line in its linear direction, but for stretch it will not limit to this linear direction. In any direction you can increase, you can decrease the length of this line with the stretch. That is the difference. Okay, now here you can see that we have a big circle over there. So the circle you can focus that if you draw two vertical lines, like from here if you draw one vertical lines, and at the left edge of your 17 distance if you draw another vertical line, you will see that this circle is connecting those two vertical lines. That means the diameter could be 17. Okay, so that is, you need to check with the graph, uh, and like what I say, it's uh, you should have the hard copy within a paper, and there you could check the scale. So that is the value. So let's create a center radius or center diameter here. This diameter is 17, enter, and let me place this line over there, and then O, enter for offset, and then go for the offset value, that is 3.75. Let's specify these points, and now you go for move, select this object, enter this as a base point, and then you place it on this point, right? Don't need this line, you can erase. And about this curve, you can see one curve is connected, so you can see that one curve is tangent with this circle, with this line, and we don't have any radius mentioned for this curve, but we can easily can see that the curve is tangent with this circle and with this line. So we have to find another tangent object. So if you increase this, so you will see that it's going tangent with this curve. If you increase, okay, so that you have to check very well. If you increase the curve, then you will see that it's going tangent like this. It's going tangent like this. Okay, so you just go for this first tangent object, second tangent object, and the third tangent object, and then you go for tree. Okay, and this part also. All right, so that is done. Delete this part. And about this part, uh, so let's create a circle over there. So let's go for this 2 point there, and here you can see this is the 2 point, this is first point, and this is second point there, and you can trim it. All right, now we don't need this line anymore. So here you can see that we have this curve, one circle there and one circle there, right? So this has the radius, this has the radius 1, and from here there is another curve there. So this is from this end, it's matching the same distance there, so the radius will be same, you can see. So you can go with this same 2 point or the radius. So here better you go with this 2 point, because you can see that this is 1 point of your diameter endpoint, and it's matching like this. It's matching there, right? So you can go with this same radius, and the diameter is 2 there. So you can go with this 2. So towards this 270-degree direction, you specify the second diameter endpoint, that is from it's the distance is 2. Okay, now what is the difference from this to this? You just have to match that distance. So from here it is 14, so from the middle it is 17, 7. Now let me just check this distance. So let's go with this distance from this to this, 3.75, and that the distance is 7, right? So the difference between 3.75 sorry 7 and 3.75, the difference is 3.25. So that will be the diameter for this circle. So let's go with this 2 point, and the diameter will be 3.25. And now you connect this to circle with line. So for that, how you can do it, you can hold control button and right click, so that you get all the lists of points there, and then you can specify that tangent point you need. So it will only highlight tangent point. So tangent point with this circle, and the tangent point with this circle. Uh, Now you can see that we couldn't find the tangent point easily, so that's why we are doing like this. Hold control button, right click, and then go for tangent, and then click on the tangent, enter, and then you can go for trim, select it, and then select, and it is done. Right? Go for enter, and that is done. You can select the half part. Don't select this vertical line. So you already have selected this vertical line, and you want to deselect it. So hold the shift button and click on it. It will be deselected. And after that, what you will do, you will go for mirror. So the first point of your mirror axis is this line, and then second point of the mirror axis is this. And do you want to erase the source object? No, I want to duplicate it. So here it is. Yeah. Now let me delete this body. So here it is completed. I hope you understand. For this part, I think I have done some mistake there. Okay, so don't worry. Let me fix this. So from here, I'll move it, and I'll fix it here. Yeah. So here it is fixed. So that will be same for this. I'll click on this grip point and then press space bar. Then I'll move on this point, and after that let me trim it. I can extend this also. Let's go for trim. It's perfect. Okay, and if you want to change anything over there, like you want to stretch this part, so what you do is you select this object like this. Okay, so you see that I'm selecting this object like this. This horizontal line I'm covering within this window, but it's selecting this these two vertical lines also. So don't that doesn't matter. uh, why I'm selecting like this, because I'm going for stretch, and you know that whenever you stretch a rubber band, what you do is you fix your left hand holding that rubber one end, and then you move one end of that rubber band with your right hand. So it's like the same. So I'm going to select this whole uh, end of this part with this select object option, and then press enter, and then you specify the base point. So it will count the distance from that base point. So that's why you make sure that you are selecting the base point from the desired location, from where you can calculate your desired value. So I have specified this as a base point, and from here I am going to stretch it towards uh, 2.5 distance for this. Okay, and suppose you want to scale this more, so you select it, enter, and you specify this or any base point, so that base point will be fixed, and from that it will either decrease or it will be increased. So make sure you specify the right base point there. Okay, if you want to change the position, uh, like all the other points position will be changed when it will be scaled. So make sure you define the base point wisely. Okay, and this scale option, you can specify the scale factor. Let me go to center, and then to specify the scale factor. Like, you can suppose you want to create a duplicate there with the scale. This is a base point, and then you go for copy, and then you can create another duplicate there. So let's go for 10 times 10 factor, and there you have it. Okay, all right, fine. So here I end today's class. I hope it is clear